contest is a sanctioned event. Spectators are reminded to model good sportsmanship throughout the game. Be positive and cheer in support of both teams. Keep in mind that there's a shortage of officials across the country. We are grateful for having tonight's officials to play this game. Thank you. Duke fans, on behalf of York High School and our marching band, we'd like to welcome you to tonight's game. The York marching band is directed by Michael Hadley and Billy Chris. The Color Guard is directed by Rachel Riley, and Color Guard captains are Kosovo, Sophia Thacker, and Sophia Maddox. Our drumline and drum ensemble are directed by Mason Lanfeld, Bill Riddle, John Lanfeld, and drum captain Kate Cooper. At this time, we'd like to welcome our visitors from Nazareth Academy with the playing of their fight song. Duke fans for your York High School fight song.
Welcome back, Duke fans, to another season here of York Dukes. Are you?
Here they come, they're mean, they're green, they're York,
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another season of York Dukes football. We got week 2 here. The York Dukes take on the Nazareth Roadrunners here in Elmhurst for the home opener. I'm TJ Silkaitis, and alongside me is Connor Choi. Connor, what are you expecting from these two teams today in this game?
Well, the Shaw Local highlighted this as probably one of the best games in the state this week.
Kick off for the Dukes. Number 29, Damian Glass.
And now they sit at number 5 in the state. Great performances from Sean Winton and Luke Maylander as
Which ones? Where'd you send it, Snapchat?
I sent it directly to you. Is that your phone or Zach's?
Zach's.
And that was number 16, Dominic.
Just talk.
Receiving the kick. It's a touchback. First and 10 for the Roadrunners on the 20-yard line.
Reese, number 2. He lives in Elmhurst. He is one of my friends from elementary school, and he is one of the favorite targets here from Logan Mallett.
Yeah, a York football alum from Guaranteed Rate in Elmhurst is raffling off a $250 Amazon gift card at halftime of the varsity games. Tickets can be purchased. 1 for $5, 3 for $10, and 8 for $20. All proceeds go to York Athletic Boosters. Thanks to John Nolan.
He gets deep separation.
Malachek here to take the first snap of the game. Low snap, he's able to catch it though. He's throwing this one deep to his receiver, and he connects with him. He's inside the 40 now, and he's tackled around the 39-yard line. Big play here from Nazareth, and they're hurrying up to the line now. Duke's got to settle down here and try and slow them down after that huge play.
James Penley making that catch. He was the top slot target for this junior quarterback.
Screen pass there, lit up though right there by number 34, Jimmy Connors. He had a big week last week. We saw him play linebacker and running back. He was able to get into the end zone as well last week. Coming out early and making a statement tackle right there after the long play, now setting up a 2nd and 15.
And Jimmy rushed in for a touchdown after having a big day defensively, making multiple tackles. Jim had 3 solo tackles.
Another pass here caught out by the sideline. He's hit out of bounds right there by Belize out at the 38-yard line.
This team likes to go for the deep ball. We've seen that literally in the first play of the game. They went for a deep shot, and they did a lot of that last week against Kankakee. Unfortunately for the Roadrunners, Kankakee was deep plays, so Nazareth looking to mix in the deep plays as well as some check down passes and balancing it with the run game.
Getting pressured here in the pocket, and he's sacked there on 3rd down. Great stop there by the Dukes. Jack Troutman making the sack right there, bringing up a 4th down and 8. Big decision here from Nazareth as they are in opponent territory. Will they go for it here, or will they come out and punt it?
Yeah, big play by Troutman. He was one of the guys last week, TJ, that we highlighted on the defensive line. He had a great game, and he starts it off here, sacking the quarterback. He anchors this defensive line alongside Joseph Reif, the number 10 player in the class of 2025 for the state of Illinois. Reif has offers from Notre Dame, Louisville, Northwestern, Louisiana Monroe, Purdue, and Iowa. 6'5", 230. For him to make a big impact at both sides of the ball.
Nazareth punting this one away. Danko's back deep to return it. He's going to catch it around the 10-yard line and work his way into the middle of the field, and he's going to be tackled down around the 16-yard line. And Sean Winton and the Dukes are now going to start this offensive possession inside their own 20 with 10 minutes left to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, Winton throwing for 277 yards. He exploded in the first half.
Hand off there to Melian. Melian swallowed up at the line. Lucky if he got 1 yard right there. Entire defensive line for Nazareth just able to break through. York going straight into the hurry-up, though. Winton's looking to take the snap, trying to drive him off sides. Now going to look over at the offensive coordinator for the play. Winton snaps it, looking to throw this one. Almost intercepted there. Looking to get it over to Luke Maylander. That one tipped by the Nazareth cornerback right there. Winton throwing a dangerous pass there on second down. Now going to be a third down and long.
Yeah, TJ, Garrett Reese played both sides of the ball, started at cornerback last season, and he's got the tough task of guarding Luke Maylander. Winton did throw the ball high, so not a real shot to get intercepted, but it was tipped up, and that's some good coverage by Reese.
Winton takes down the third down snap, and it's going to be another handoff to Melian. Melian only going to get 2. Going to bring up a 4th down and 5 here. And the punting unit is going to come out onto the field.
It's working.
He did not touch it, though. That ball rolls all the way back to the 30-yard line. Great punt there from Brennan Kennedy. Wicklow to down it. Nazareth starting back in their own territory as Kennedy has an absolute boot. We saw it last year on the sophomore team. He was their punter and kicker, and showing a big difference here, flipping the sides of the field, giving the Dukes defense a much better opportunity here.
Well, it looked like for the Roadrunners that had a chance to be a pretty decent return.
Duke fans, tonight's game theme is tropical. If you've not noticed our spirited student section.
Snap call, it's going to be another pass here out to the side. That's just going to be a quick slant route. Jake Sestone there to make the grab right there. Second and 3.
Connors on the tackle once again, and Sestone, the slot receiver for the Roadrunners. He's got average speed, but he's a great route runner, and he creates good separation more times than not.
Dude, what?
Number 21.
What?
Troy Tittle. Tackled by his American counterpart, number 21, Cole Ostendorf. It's third down, Duke fans. Let's
Another third down here for Nazareth. The Dukes defense really been putting pressure on them, but it is a third down and 1.
I can't hear you.
Third and short. This is the time where you need the defensive line to step up. Look for Troutman or Reef to make a play here.
Snap, and there's a handoff out to the left side. They are going to get the first down. Duke's not able to stop them. Number 21 right there, that being Choi Tittle.
22, Jonathan.
Naz doing a much better job balancing the attack. Like I mentioned before, TJ, a lot of deep balls from them week 1 against Kankakee. And now against the Dukes, they seem to be balancing this attack a lot more. York's done a pretty good job so far. But Naz is now at the 40-yard line, starting to make a little bit of a push.
Malik. 5 yards, he's hammered there by Ostendorf. Another short gain here from Nazareth, but they're continuously moving this ball almost up to the 50-yard line right now.
Big strength from Malachuk is his legs, and Ostendorf does a great job recognizing that he's going to keep the ball. He doesn't commit to the left or the right. He stays in the center and is able to stop Malachuk from getting a first down.
Pass here from Malachuk on second down. He's going to find his receiver over on the sideline. Great job keeping his feet in bounds. James Kenley catching it at the 40-yard line.
First down for Nazareth Academy.
Couple big receptions here for Kenley that have resulted in first downs. He's just getting the right separation at the right time.
You fans, if you're feeling the heat, you can grab yourself a cool color Kona Ice at the north end of the concession bleachers. You want to chill with snow.
Malachuk taking another snap. He's going to hand this one off. Nowhere going, though, as he gets knocked out of bounds at the 41. McLean not able to go anywhere as the Duke's corners did a great job containing him on that play.
Second down and 8 for the Roadrunners.
Second down and 8 here. Malachuk looking to throw it out wide. He finds his target. Ball almost poked out there by Georges. Picked up, though, by number 33, Joey Massieri.
And number 31, Charlie Georges.
Great job by the Dukes defense, preventing the little halfback screen from resulting in a first down. Now it's third and manageable for this offense, but 3rd and 6 is not a guarantee, especially with this defense that has been playing so well.
Malachuk rolling out left. There are flags thrown on the field. Play will be blown dead, and that's going to be a false start here on the offense. Nazareth going to be pushed back here. That's going to make it a much harder third down to pick up now with 3rd and 11.
Costly penalty right there. That went from 3rd and manageable now to 3rd and long. 11 yards to pick up the first down. And just a costly mistake in a crucial moment.
It's 3rd down, Duke fans.
It went from inside the 40-yard line to the ball being spotted at the 42.
Third down and long. Sends his running back in motion. Malachuk looking deep over the left side of the field, wide open right there. Nazareth gets in the end zone first as there was a miscommunication by the York defenders. Wide open right there was number 11, James Penley, the junior receiver. He couldn't be any more wide open on that play, and the Dukes fall early, 6-0 as a field goal unit comes out to try and attempt this extra point with 5:49 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, Penley just broke away pretty early and pretty easily, and he was wide open. Malachuk recognizes that, throws a deep ball, and pretty easy touchdown for him there.
Fowler to kick this extra point. That one straight to the upright. Score now 7-0. Sean Winton, the offense, is going to have to make something happen here to get back in the game. Don't want the lead to get too big away from them. And as they're taking a quick break here before the kickoff, we're going to take a quick break. You are watching York Sports Network. Nazareth kicking the ball off. That one's sky deep. Danko to return once again, picking it up at the 10. He's running out to the right, has a little bit of space, shoves one guy off, and he's up to the 30-yard line. Great return there from Danko, 20 yards, putting the Dukes in a much better position here to try and cut this lead either to one score or just close the gap here and make it a tie ball game.
Yeah, TJ, we saw this offense had a slow start in their first possession. Winton threw a pick, but then after that, he never looked back. What an excellent debut on a varsity field for Sean Winton. And he possesses all the tools he needs, and now he's in a big game here in week 2.
Snap there, that one. Jimmy Connors with it. Jimmy Connors going to, Luke Maylander on the screen pass gets up to the 50-yard line. There are flags thrown. We're going to have to wait and see here what they're going to be calling. Not exactly sure what happened on that last play. We didn't see it up here in the booth.
And that one's going against the Dukes.
It will be an offensive penalty. It's going to be called as a holding, so that's going to send them back 5 yards, and they're going to have to repeat first down now.
Yeah, Winton, nice screen pass to Maylander. We saw a couple of those last week that worked out very well in the favor of the Dukes. Unfortunately, that one gets called back, and now it's a 1st and 5. Because the flag wasn't thrown until after the line of scrimmage for you folks at home. So, getting 5 yards, not as much as he would have had on the screen pass, but
Winton hands it off to Melian. Melian just going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Not gaining anything. 2nd down and 5 now going to be for the Dukes.
That's Roy Tittle and number 9, Brendan Flanagan. Brings up a 2nd down for the Dukes.
Winton on 2nd down. He's going to tuck it himself, and he's going to get the first down up to the 42-yard line. Sean Winton using his legs on that one to make a play happen.
well, TJ, I don't think that was in the scouting report for the Roadrunners. Winton, not known for using his legs, but he's got great footwork and can be elusive in the pocket. This time it's a designed run, which we saw a lot last year when Matt Vezza was at quarterback. Winton more of a pocket passer. Vezza was the dual threat guy, but Winton, he was moving there.
Another flag thrown here. Going to be offsides on the defense. That's going to be a 5-yard penalty.
Reese got called for encroachment there, and that's going to move the Dukes up 5 yards. And now they're just shy of the 50-yard line. Hey, don't go down there, all right?
And the snap here. Hand off to Melian. Melian gets up the right sideline for another first down, as they're going to take 3 Nazareth defenders to take him down at the 42-yard line. Dukes are putting a drive together here with their 3rd first down of the drive.
Yeah, excellent job. Winton did a good job faking it. He was able to get a couple of the defensive linemen on Naz. The Dukes are marching down the field.
Another handoff to Melian. He's able to evade the tacklers in the backfield. And Melian runs for another first down. The running game is really working here for the Dukes.
Melian, a power back. That's what he's known for. Really hard to tackle, but he's also got some excellent footwork. He's very elusive in the backfield, and he had a nice cut to pick up a first down again.
Ball set on the 34-yard line of the Nazareth territory. Winton takes it, another handoff to Melian. Melian running right up the gut, right near the first down marker. This time he's going to be marked short. Still a 9-yard game, bringing up a second down and very manageable. Now inside the 25-yard line.
Melian cuts and goes up the right side. Nazareth plugs the right side. Then Melian goes up the middle. I mean, they just don't have an answer for him right now.
Short gain there, but nonetheless picks up the first down. That now 5 rushes in a row between Winton and Melian.
It's first down.
Now inching towards the red zone. We'll see if they continuously pound the rock here and get it into the end zone, or maybe fake a play action like we saw last week when Winton connected twice with Chris Danko on the play action pass. They're going to give it off to Melian again. Melian cutting back inside. He's fighting for extra yards. Brought down at the 15-yard line. Second down and 3.
Tackle made by number 3, Jaden Varsity. Second and 3 for your Dukes.
Melian now going to take a breather here after 5 consecutive run plays for him. Jimmy Connors.
Yeah, Connors rushed in a touchdown last week in Glenview. Good red zone back here for the Dukes.
We're going to give it right back to the running back. This time Connors. Connors looking to push forward. He's swallowed up, though, at the line of scrimmage. Might have gained a yard or 2 on that, bringing down up a third down and short.
Yeah, 3rd and 2. This is big for the Dukes. You really want to pick up the first down to give yourself a better chance of tying this football game rather than settling for 3 here.
Winton fakes it this time. He's taking it himself. He's able to get the first down. He's now inside the 10, tackled right around the 9-yard line. First and goal now for the Dukes.
Another excellent play by Winton. Running the option there, fakes the handoff and takes it himself. Little tuck and run. Now we got something interesting. We have Troutman joining the offense. Looks like he's lining up in the tight end spot just for extra protection.
Hand off to Melian. They were ready for it this time, and he's going to be taken down for a big loss here. Going all the way back to the 12-yard line now. So making it a much harder second down and goal.
Yeah, well, the Dukes brought out Troutman. They put Connors in for extra protection. And the Naz defense just able to light up the line and get to Melian right away. And that's a big loss.
And at the end of the first quarter, the Nazareth Roadrunners lead the York Dukes 7-0. Dukes do have the ball.
That's all thanks to John Nolan. Yep, that's right. A York football alum from Guaranteed Rate here in Elmhurst. Tickets are 1 for $5, 3 for $10, or 8 for $20. They can be purchased at the...
He flips sides here at the start of the second quarter. Winton looking to pass as he's rolling out to his right. He throws it to the back of the end zone. Barely out of the reach there for Finton Helm. Great pass right there from Winton, putting it only where his receiver could get it. Just off the fingertips of Helm, bringing now up a 3rd down and 10. But there was a flag thrown. It appears to be on the offense as they're moving back, and that's going to be a holding penalty. Nazareth's going to accept that. Now 2nd down and 20.
It's just a rough break. They're moving back even further, and now they really need to pick up some serious yards here. 2nd and long.
Four wide receivers out here with Melling in the backfield. Winton going to take the snap here, throwing it across the middle to Maylander, and he finds him in the end zone. What a route there by Luke Maylander on the post, barely getting enough separation. Great throw by Winton, putting it right on the dime. Score now 7-6 with Damian Glotz coming out to try and tie this ball game. Great momentum swing here from the Dukes coming out in the 2nd quarter, scoring that touchdown. That's exactly what they needed to do, and that was great execution there by the offense.
Maylander, such an explosive player at wide receiver. We see it on full display there. He breaks away kind of at the last second, but great job by Winton, staying calm and collected in the pocket even when it started to collapse, and that's one of the things that just makes him such a great quarterback. He does not let the first sign of pressure get to him. He waits and goes through his reads, and he finds Maylander for a touchdown, and now it's a 1-point game.
Glotz's extra point is away, and it is right through the uprights. We got ourselves a tie ball game here in Elmhurst. 11:50 left to go in this first half.
Yeah, Glotz has a great leg at kicker. Fun fact, for those of you that don't know, Damian Glotz is on the soccer team, and he scored a goal against a 4-1 win at Wheaton North earlier this week. I did not know he played soccer, TJ. I just thought that was kind of a fun fact. But Glotz with a absolute boot at kicker.
And we're starting to see a little bit more and more, especially at the high school and college level. We see great soccer players, especially those strikers who have such strong legs, really start almost transitioning into that kicker role because they already just have that natural leg that every coach is looking for, and Glotz is definitely no exception to that. He has an absolute boot, and the Dukes are lucky to have him, as pretty much any time they're in the opposite team's territory, you can count on him to knock down a field goal. Glotz just sky kicking this one to about the 30. That one picked up by number 6, Luke Holstrom, but he's not able to go anywhere as he's tackled right where he catches it.
He was met by his numerical opposite, Max Sennett of the Dukes. And number 36, his perfect square, Evan Gahn. It's 1st and 10 for the Roadrunners at the 34-yard line.
Out to lead this Nazareth offense, scoring a touchdown on that last possession. Looking to get the lead back here before halftime, as York does get the second half kickoff. Malachuk hands this one off to his running back. McLean swallowed up in the backfield. Looks to be about a loss of 1 right there. Great swarm there of York defense. Doug Freed making the tackle right there.
Yeah, Nats has some good starting field position, but the Dukes defense over the last few years, despite occasionally giving their opposing team a good field position, they're able to hold them to a lot of times a 3-and-out or a very short drive.
Malachuk passing now, gets it over to Reese. Reese able to evade one tackle, can't get past the second right there. Ossendorf able to clean up Belize's work right there. Short gain there for Nazareth, but making it a much more manageable third down.
It's third down, Duke fans. Let's get loud.
Malachuk on a big third down now. Takes the snap. He's backpedaling. That one tipped at the line of scrimmage by Nick Delanis. And, Jack Troutman right there. Delanis right behind him. Great play there by Troutman. He's been all over the field so far in the first half. Bring up a fourth down, and Nazareth's going to have to come out and punt this football back to the Dukes. Winton looking to lead this offense to a second straight score in the second quarter.
Excellent job holding them to a 3-and-out there. They gave up a decent reception to Reese on second down, and then on third down, Troutman able to get through and tip it up and stop anything big from happening.
Yeah, Nazareth changing their punt protection right here as they kick this one away to Danko. Danko's going to catch that one. Fair catch that is, and he's catching that one at the 29-yard line.
It'll be first and 10 for the Dukes at
The Dukes offense
29-yard line.
looking to replicate what they did last time, scoring a touchdown.
Speaking of lines are short at the concession stand. That's right. There is.
Yeah, towards the end of that, especially when they got in the red zone, I thought they did a great job, TJ, of fighting through all the penalties and
Available at both the north and south ends of the field. Hydration is important on a warm night such as this.
After the false start there by Kaminsky, Winton hands the ball off to Melian on a second down and 5, and Melian picks up the first down again. Melian has been a first down machine here tonight, picking up his 4th first down on the ground.
yeah, TJ Melian is a first down machine here at running back for the Dukes. We saw his rise to the running back 1 spot last year when he really went off in the game at LT, and he hasn't looked back since. Been one of the best running backs in the conference.
Winton changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Winton fakes the handoff. This time the defense is not fooled. No gain here on first down. Bringing up a second down and 10.
Yeah, Winton did a nice job. I know the play didn't go anywhere, TJ, but that could have been a relatively big loss for 3 or 4 yards. Instead, Winton makes a nice cut, able to get back to the line of scrimmage. So it's 2nd and 10 instead of 2nd and 13.
Winton rolling out right. He's going to tuck and run this one up to the 50-yard line. Got to be about 1 yard short here helping himself out, making this a much easier third down conversion.
Gain of 8 yards. It's third and 10.
Great job by Winton. He's not too aggressive with his legs, but he knows when his receivers really just aren't going to get open, and he sees a hole in the defense and he can take off with his legs. That's one thing he does an excellent job.
They're going to hand this one off to Melian. Melian right near the first down marker. We're just going to have to wait and see where they mark him down.
Number 30, Jake Melian on the run.
Right at the line of gain. They're going to give him the first down, and Melian picks up another one. Melian now going to get a quick break here on the sideline. They're really feeding the running backs here tonight. We saw them do that a lot last year. And we also saw how successful they were last year with the running game. And it's looked great here tonight.
Yeah, TJ, this is one of the best run game teams in the West Suburban Silver Conference.
As we see a handoff to Connors. Connors breaking away. He gets hit hard, and he's pushed up to the 40-yard line. Second down and inches to go. And especially about that running game, it's not just Melian who's leading the role right there. Jimmy Connors has also done a great job the last 2 weeks running the ball.
Yeah, TJ, Melian is the feature back, of course, but don't sleep on Jimmy Connors. He can really run it. He's also lined up at linebacker. He's a tremendous athlete. And at running back, the little action he gets, as Melian is usually the lead back, he does his part very well.
Winton hit as he throws, but Daco's wide open down the sideline. He hits him at the 10, and Daco gets into the end zone. The Dukes take the lead up 13-7 with 6:30 left to go in the second quarter. Winton showing great poise there, taking a huge shot from his blind side, making a great throw. Daco wide open, toasting his defender, and that's another York Dukes touchdown.
Yeah, well, Chris Danko was one of the guys, one of the returning players into this new season with kind of a new offensive landscape. A lot of people thought he was going to be the one to step up, and last week he had 2 receiving touchdowns, and he starts the game off, gives his team the lead here with his 3rd receiving touchdown of the year, absolutely toasts the defensive back.
And Glod's once again automatic on the extra point, giving the Dukes a 7-point lead here. As we wait for that kickoff, we are going to take a short break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching York Dukes Varsity Football here on York Sports Network. Back deep to return here. It's Dominic Giromonte. That's going to be a short kick, though. That ball's letting go, and it's recovered by the Dukes. Nazareth miscommunication there. Did not see the ball fall, and that was picked up by number 41, Aiden Link.
YTV's very own Aiden Link with a great heads-up play there. The Roadrunners almost played it like it was a punt. They were going to let it roll backwards further into the Dukes territory, and instead the Dukes realize this mistake, and Link pounces on the ball, and he gives his team great field position at the 31-yard line.
Quick hands of Adam Fennell. First down.
Winton coming right back out off the passing touchdown. He's getting pressured here trying to evade the tacklers, gets where it won, and he's just able to get that one out of bounds. Great job there by Winton getting out of the pocket, evading 3 tacklers in the backfield. Offensive collapse a little bit right there, but Winton did a great job getting out and getting that ball thrown to the sideline, making sure he did not have an intentional grounding call there.
Yeah, one of the very few times you see that offensive line collapse that early. Naz did a good job of just beating them off the snap. But the Dukes in prime position to take a 2-possession lead, up 14-7, and then immediately got the ball back.
Dukes out and trips over on the left side of the field. Winton takes it. He's going to run this one. Nowhere to go, though.
Number 4, Sean
Barely going to get 1 yard. Bringing up a 3rd down and 9 now to go.
3rd down for the Dukes.
Definitely going to look to go to the air here and try and pick up this 1st down.
Yeah, let's go to the air, but you do not want to be taking a sack here, TJ. If you take a sack, you could potentially fall out of Damian Glotz's range, and that is the last thing you want to have happen when you have a chance to go up by 2 scores.
Winton going to throw, getting hit again. George Kikos goes up and gets it. Great catch there. That's a 1st down. Winton once again showing that amazing poise, getting absolutely rocked in the pocket, but not showing any sign of fear and delivering a strike to Kikos, as that is his 1st reception of the year, and that's a big one.
Yeah, that's another great job by Kikos. He stays in front of the defensive back, and he's able to jump up. Winton's throw just a tad high, but he jumps up, comes down with it on an excellent play.
A Nazareth defender down here. And with this injury timeout, we're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching York Sports Network. That was Luke Holstrom, the one a little bit shaken up for Nazareth. He was able to walk off the field, so hopefully he is okay. Timeout called here by the Dukes. That's their 1st of 3 here in the 1st half. 5:26 left to go.
That's right. Head on down to the
And as they take this timeout, we are going to take a timeout.
because John Nolden,
You have been watching York Sports Network. Don't go anywhere.
right here in Elm.
Tickets can be purchased at the Spirit Center, the South End Concession Stand. Tickets are 1 for $5, 3 for $10, or 8 for $20. All proceeds go to York Athletic Boosters to support all York athletics. Winner need not be present to win. Get your tickets before halftime. Just come out. Let's go, Dukes!
Back from the injury timeout and regular timeout now. Winton taking the snap, rolling out to his right. Looking to get this one to Danko. Danko almost making a great one-handed grab right there. Winton just barely behind him. Danko had to jump up and go with his one hand right there, bobbling it. Luckily falling to the ground, though, so that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 10 from the 14-yard line.
Wow. I mean, that was almost the greatest catch. One of the greatest catches, if he comes down with it, that we would have ever seen, TJ. But also ridiculously hard. Still good field position. They're on the 14, so inside the red zone. And this red zone offense has been good.
And here's the snap. Fake handoff to Melian. Going out right once again, and he's going to have to get rid of this one. Kikos was open on the right side. He beat his defender. But once again, that offensive line has collapsed, and Winton had to roll out to his right and evade the tacklers. He's had to do that quite a bit tonight. This offensive line's really got to pick it up out there.
Yeah, I think Kikos was just hoping that Winton would have had maybe 1 or 2 extra seconds to see him just completely break away from his defender. And that was a huge spot where you could have gone up by 14. And now it's 3rd and 10 on the 14-yard line. And it's a big spot here for this offense.
False start there on the offense. They're going to get Chris Danko there on that one. That's going to push them back 5 yards. 19, or a third down and 15 from the 19-yard line. Much harder conversion here for them, especially so close to the goal line. Every single yard you get closer, it makes it a little bit tougher to pick up those big gains.
Yeah, but now they're pretty far out. You don't want to take a sack. That would make the field goal on Glotz harder if he needs to take it.
When it takes a snap, throwing across the middle, he's got Danko again. Danko in for his 2nd touchdown, making up for his mistake, beating his man over the middle. That's Danko's 4th touchdown in 2 weeks of football, and we still got 5:09 left in this first half. Dukes go up 14.
Just when you think they're not going to get in the end zone, this team surprises me more and more week in and week out. Chris Danko with another touchdown catch, and he has been excellent in the red zone. He has been Sean Winton's go-to guy inside the 30-yard line, and he shows why they're hauling down another nice grab, and that's going to put his team up 13 points.
And 14 after Dame Dalla knocks down another extra point. While we wait for the kickoff, we're going to take another short break. You have been watching York Dukes Varsity Football on York Sports Network. Giramonte back to return another short kick, though, from Glotz. Fowler going to pick this one up, so no miscommunication on this one, but Fennell right there to make a great tackle. The Dukes are calling for the football. It fall down, and Fennell came up with it. It will be Nazareth football as he was down by contact. This is a must-score possession here for Nazareth, down 14, especially with the Dukes getting the ball first in the second half. You don't want them getting that ball going down the field and scoring another touchdown, putting themselves up 21.
Yeah, this will be a big drive for Naz. 5 left in the first half. Want to score.
Snap here, ball out to the sideline. Intended target was James Penley. Out of his reach, though, as Malachik just led him too far, crashing him into his own sideline. Nazareth has really struggled so far on offense ever since that touchdown possession. Has not been back in York Duke territory.
Well, they've been really good at getting to about 10, 15 yards from midfield, and after that, they really just fizzle out.
So Malachuk throws this one up. Great diving grab there. Ball's out. They're going to call it an incomplete pass, though, as they're saying he did not have possession of the football.
An incomplete pass.
James Penley, once again, the receiver, he thought he caught that ball. From where our angle was, at least to me, it looked like he had that ball, but they're going to say that one popped out, possibly knocked out by the ground, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down and long here for Naz.
Well, I think the ref was signaling that it hit the ground and then bounced up into his chest, and he tried playing that off as a reception, but he did not fool him at all.
So Malachuk takes it on 3rd down. He's pressured. He's going to have to chuck this one on the run. He's got a receiver up the sideline.
Pass
Caught there by Jake Seastone. They're going to say mark him down with the 35, but there was a flag in the backfield. I think that's going to be a holding call here as Malachuk got pressured by 3 Dukes defensive linemen, and it will be bringing up a 3rd down and even longer than they already had.
That's just such a big blow to this offense. Malachuk finally gets a deep ball connected. So great at hitting the deep ball on the run, as you just saw there, and it's just completely negated by an offensive hold. And now it's 3rd and 10 on the 20, or 3rd and 20 on the 19-yard line. And Malachuk is going to have a lot of work to do if he wants to keep this drive alive.
This Duke's secondary is going to have to make a big play here as Malachuk takes the snap, getting pressured once again. Ossendorf right on his tail, and Cole Ossendorf sacks him all the way back at the 8-yard line. There's no getting away from him when he sees you in his sights. Clock running now to right around 4:05, and the Dukes are going to get the ball back with a chance to go up 21 points before halftime.
That was the best possible defensive outcome right there. We were just thinking no first downs by whatever means necessary. Instead, you get a sack, send them back to their own 9-yard line, and now they're going to be forced to punt it away from the end zone where Chris Danko waits at the 42-yard line.
Nez territory. That ball's blocked by Troutman. That ball's still going to get a pretty good roll. Rolling up to the 36, just 6 yards in front of Danko where he was standing to catch that. But great job there by Jack Troutman to get into the backfield and block that punt, setting up this Dukes offense in great field position with 3:23, and with that little amount of time, they have very little field to travel for another touchdown.
Special teams been so good for the Dukes this year in terms of receiving punts, kicking field goals, kicking extra points, kickoffs. And special teams has been a big factor in this first half.
As Winton's going to hand this one off to Melian.
Number 30,
That's Melian's first carry here in the second quarter after 12 in the first. He's going to be able to get up to about the 38-yard line, picking up 3. Dukes really switched up their offensive strategy from the first, having 14 rushes and 1 pass, and that being their first rush here in the second quarter, and another offsides from Nazareth. This defensive line cannot stay on their side. Winton's done a great job with the hard counts tonight.
2nd and 2 for the Dukes.
2nd and 2 now after the penalty.
There's only a few seconds left. For you.
2:53 left in this first half.
$50 gift card to Amazon. Tickets are
Yeah, Winton just stealing yards away, taking free yards as this defensive line continues to make mistake after mistake in terms of jumping too early.
Winton takes a snap, hands it off to Melian again. Melian's breaking away. He's up to the 10-yard line. 5, touchdown. No one can touch him. Melian turns on the burners and gets to the outside, causing a huge rushing touchdown here for the Dukes. Score now 27-7, as that's the first rushing touchdown of the night for the Dukes. Glad to come out and put this to a 28-7 lead. Still 2:25 left in the second quarter. That's one of the fastest possessions I've ever seen, Connor.
Yeah, great job. The defense and special teams really set it up, and then a couple plays, and then Jake Melian just explodes down the sidelines for a touchdown. That has to feel good. Only a couple rushes in this second quarter, but that one rush has been so meaningful.
Glod's once again nailing his extra point opportunity. Perfect so far on the year. And as we wait for this next kickoff here, we're going to take a short break. You are watching York Sports Network.
District 205 has a no alcohol, no tobacco, no vaping policy. No smoking or use of these products on District 205 property.
Glod's getting ready to kick this ball back to Naz with 2:25 left to go in the second quarter. Done a couple short sky kicks the last couple of times out. This time he's going to absolutely boot one back. Chiaramonte is going to fumble the ball. He's going to pick it back up, though, and he's going to get out to the 20. He gets to the right sideline, and he's tackled all the way to the 31. Great recovery right there by Dominic Chiaramonte. Just getting anything would have been good there, but getting it up to the 31 is huge, putting Nazareth in a pretty decent position to try and cut into this Dukes lead before halftime.
All right, it's going to have to be quick, though. Only 2 minutes and 15 seconds left. They're going to have to run the hurry-up offense here, as they've still got about 70 yards to go. But they do have their all three timeouts left.
They're going to hand off this first one. That's to their wide receiver, number 11, James Penley. He's just going to get a couple here. Bringing up a second down and about 6 yards to go. Clock going to continue to run, though, after that rushing play. Nazareth's most likely looking to get into the end zone with no time left to not give the Dukes another chance to put points up before halftime.
Yeah, barring a 3-and-out, this will most likely be the last possession of the first half.
Another handoff, this time to McLean. McLean going to get pushed out of bounds right there by Cole Ostendorf. He will pick up the first down, though, so he will move the chains on that run.
And a good job by him to get out of bounds, get to that sideline and allow Ostendorf to just push him out of bounds, not trying to go for the extra yards, because that would keep the clock running. Just scurries out of bounds, and the clock stops at 1:36, and the Roadrunners have not used any one of their timeouts.
Malachuk in the backfield here with McLean. He's going to pass this one, however. He's going deep. Georges gets beat. Great back shoulder throw there by Malachuk, and another great catch from James Penley. That puts them at the 21-yard line with 1:27 left to go. That's a huge play and exactly what this Nazareth offense has been looking for this entire first half.
Yeah, Malachuk, the scouting report on him was cannon of an arm, and he shows it off there.
As he's getting out to the left side here, he's going to get into the end zone. Flags thrown.
Touchdown, Nazareth. There's a flag.
It looks to be a holding penalty, though, on the wide receiver, number 3, Jaden Foskey.
Refs talking over it. I mean, if that is called back, which I think it will, TJ, that is just a huge blow right there. Malachuk, very good on his legs. He was able to get out to the left side and get into the end zone for a touchdown, and they do call it a holding. That's going to send him back 10 yards. A minute 15 and 3 timeouts left, so worst case scenario, though, have to kick a field goal if you're the Roadrunners, but they're still obviously trying to get into the end zone. But that holding call does not help their chances as time is not on their side.
And like you said, worst case scenario for Nazareth here needs to be that field goal. They can't go into this halftime being down 21 points. As Malachuk takes it, and he's going to pass. He's getting rushed here. Back off his back leg. Great throw up to the 2-yard line. That ball was caught by Gabe Kaminsky. A little bit of a commotion there down on the goal line.
Number 5, Gabe Kaminsky. It's the first
Nazareth really picking up their step here with the shortened clock. They've looked much more fluent and really just in a groove right here on this drive. Besides that one hiccup of a holding penalty on that last play. Nazareth going to call a timeout here right under the 1-minute mark with 57 seconds. We're going to take a short break here with this timeout. You've been watching York Dukes Varsity Football on York Sports Network. Malachuk in a stacked backfield. He's going to take it himself. Not going to get in, though. Ball's out on the ground and picked up by the Dukes. Costly mistake there by Logan Malachuk. Joe Reef came up with it, and the Dukes get the ball back again, up 21. This defense has looked spectacular, have not given anything to Nazareth, made them work for every single yard, and they shut them down once again.
Yeah, TJ, Joe Reef, again, making a big impact on the line, this time forcing a fumble at the goal line. And we said the worst-case scenario for Naz would be kicking a field goal, but this is the worst-case scenario. They turned the ball over to the Dukes with 50 seconds left, and they'll just run the clock out. Excellent job by Reef.
I don't know about that run the clock out, Connor. There's still 50 seconds, 2 timeouts left. You take a shot or 2 downfield. If you don't pick that up, then obviously I could see them running out the clock to prevent Nazareth getting the ball back in their own side of the field. But that connection between Winton and his receivers today has looked excellent and very on point.
Yeah, and he just does such a great job getting everyone involved.
Winton going to hand this one off to Melian. Melian up to the 5-yard line.
Jake Melian on the run for the Dukes.
Clock going to keep running here.
And as we approach halftime, for those of you who are at the game or planning on coming to Clarence D. East Field for your game in the future, don't forget to check out a Duke meal at the concession stand. Pizza, hot dog, chips, and a drink. Only $9. Or pizza or hot dog. $5. Only $5. TJ, you're going to get yourself a Duke meal during halftime?
I might have to, Connor. And looks like you were right there, Mr. Choi, as This clock will wind down with that last kneel from Winton. Electrifying first half from this Dukes team, up 21-7. They get the ball first here in Elmhurst to start off the second half, and they're going to be looking to carry that momentum and shut this game down very early in the second quarter.
Yeah, and I think getting the goal line turnover was just so huge for this team. This defense has been excellent so far throughout this first half. Just so good, and I think people were having questions about the offense, but they also just assumed the defense would not be as dominant as it was last year, and I'd say it looks just as good, if not better, in some aspects of the defensive side of the ball, and the offense is holding its own, which was the big question mark going into this season. And being up 28-7 at halftime against the Roadrunners is a huge statement win. I mean, we saw York lose to Loyola Academy in the state semifinals, and a lot of people were just thinking York is a team that will do well in its conference, but not so well against the Catholic powerhouses. And they're up 21 points against the team that won state last year and is now in one of the toughest conferences in high school football, TJ.
And Connor, one other thing I wanted to talk about before halftime was, what do you think this Nazareth defense can try and do to stop the passing attack with all the weapons that Sean Winton has?
I think too many eyes are on Luke Maylander. Yes, he's an excellent receiver, and you don't want him to break away, but I think Nazareth is kind of disrespecting Chris Danko. I mean, inside 30 yards, I'd say he's more favored by Winton over Maylander. He's got 4 touchdown receptions already. And if they're able to lock up Maylander, but as well as Chris Danko, I think that kind of blocks out the passing game and forces a guy like George Kikos or Frinton Helm to step up in terms of the offense inside 30 yards. And for the run game, you can't let Melian get through that accelerant. I think he's a power back at heart, but if he gets through that first wave of defenders, he turns on the jets and he can take off, and you do not want to let him get through the first through the line, I would say. So a lot of work to be done for the Roadrunners. And if you're the Dukes, keep doing everything you've been doing. I mean, the game plan execution has been perfect so far.
We hope you enjoy our opener for Westside.
And now with us at halftime, we are going to take a break here. We'll be back in 12 minutes and 50 seconds. Don't go anywhere. I've been TJ Silkaitis, and joining me tonight has been Connor Choi. You've been watching York Dukes Varsity Football on York Sports Network.
The next portion of our West Side Story show features color guard soloist Ara Krasovich and trumpet soloist Matt Olson. We hope you enjoy this wonderful ballad, I Have a Love. This time, we'd like to welcome to the field the outstanding York Palms and Cheer, led by Alyssa Ortiz, Emily Bowman, and Melissa Lancaster. They will be performing to an arrangement of Fireball. On your feet, two fans for your York High School fight song.
4 tackles and a sack. Melian has 80 rushing yards and 2 York forced turnovers, as well as a George Kikos reception, his first of the season, and it was a big one. Chris Danko has 2 touchdowns tonight, as previously mentioned. 4 in his first 2 games. He did. Runners are coming back out to the field.
In that first half, Nazareth did get out to an early 7-point lead, but the Dukes have scored 28 unanswered. Almost flipped the switch, I would say, after that touchdown, almost lighting a fire underneath them.
Yeah, and TJ, this was supposed to be a very tight game between 2 of the best teams in the state, and this is slowly turning into a blowout in favor of the Dukes. I mean, they're just playing some of the best football I think I've ever seen them play. It's just a huge, complete team game. A near perfect execution on the offensive side, and this defense is just helping out so much, getting them great stops and good field position, and that special teams also helping out. First half, you saw that kickoff. Aiden Link touched it. No one on Naz touched it, and Aiden Link saw the ball well past 10 yards, and he pounced on it, got the Dukes inside the 35-yard line to start a possession right after scoring a touchdown. And it's just the little things like that. They just go such a long way. Special teams, as many people say, special teams is what wins you a game, and they've been excellent there and defensively.
Nazareth booting this ball away. That one going back to Danko to start off the second half. Danko's out to the 20. He's going to look to cut. Had a lot of open grass in front of him, but he's going to trip himself up at around the 22-yard line. The turf monster got him there.
25-yard line. Excuse me, 23-yard line.
Duke's offense now taking the field for the first possession of this second half. Very dominant performance both on the ground and through the air. Winton not really targeting any one receiver throughout the field, maybe so in the red zone with Danko, but he's gotten it to at least 4 different receivers in that first half. He's going to start this one out with a screen pass to Maylander. Maylander going to get 4. Second down and 6 to go from their own 25-yard line.
Second and 5 for the Dukes.
Winton handing this one off to Melian. Melian up the left sideline, and he's tackled around the 42-yard line after another big gain on the ground. The offensive line has looked great so far tonight on rushing plays, and that one there was another performance by the men up front.
Tackle made by number 60, Nolan Daly.
This offensive line has been really, really good over the last couple of years, and that's been a big part in going towards the success of the rushing attack from this Dukes offense. The O-line plays a huge, crucial role, and I just don't think they get the credit that they deserve.
Ball handed off to Melian again, wrapped up right there by a couple of Nazareth defenders. Melian still able to gain 4 yards on the play.
Last week when the Dukes went up a pretty sizable margin against the Glenbrook South Titans, we didn't really see Winton throw too much. He had 1 big touchdown pass to Luke Maylander, but other than that, only threw for 7 yards. And being up 21, will he slow down?
Melian, another rushing attempt for him there. Not going to go anywhere, maybe even losing a yard.
Brings up a 3rd down for the Dukes.
3rd down and 7. for the Dukes here at the 45-yard line, pressuring Nazareth by getting into their own territory again. Winton's going to take the snap, and he's going to roll out right. He's going to get... His helmet gets ripped off on that play. On the sack there by the linebacker, number 5, Gabe Kaminsky. Winton had no time to do anything on that play. Offensive line just completely folded. No face mask penalty there. They'll say it's clean, and that's a huge sack. Losing almost 20 yards back to the 30-yard line now. So clearly a punting situation for the Dukes. And we're going to see Brennan Kennedy come out. He had a great punt his first time out. Kennedy gets this up and away. That one high up there. That's going to get a good bounce, though. That roll is going to put them at the 30-yard line. That's a 60-yard punt from Brendan Kennedy.
Excuse me, 88, Brendan Kennedy with the punt. Excuse me. Long punt by Brendan.
BK got a really friendly roll there. He had a lot of spin on the ball, and it just kept rolling, and it ends up at the 31-yard line here. And Malachuk has some work to do, and we thought he had a touchdown, a rushing touchdown after, and a couple of big plays that he would have completed, but they were either called back due to incompletions, penalties, among other things. That's just really hampered his chances of getting into the end zone.
Hand off here by Flanichek. Stuffed, though, by Joe Reef and Joey Massieri, along with Cole Ostendorf. No room to run there for Lesroy Tittle.
Number 34, Jimmy Connors.
We've seen very little of Tittle out on the field today. Most of the rushing attack has been from Edward McQuade, as really there haven't been much short down situations, and that's normally what Naz brings out Tittle for.
Yeah, and you know, this is a great job. This is another thing that the Dukes have done really well, is they've been forcing third and long situations. It really forces Malachuk to throw a lot of deep balls. And I was listening to a podcast by the Shaw Local. A couple of reporters watched the Kankakee game against Nazareth, and they said Kankakee did a great job of forcing the deep plays.
As we see another one here, that ball thrown to the sideline, barely out of the reach of Jake Castone. That was a really good pass there, though, by Malachuk. Put it where only his guy could grab it. Just dropped through the hands of him and hit the turf.
Yeah, TJ, going back to, like, that's, they're forced to takes a lot of deep shots early because they're just not getting those short. They're not slowly inching closer and closer to the first down marker, and that really forces them to take a lot of deep shots. 3rd and 7 here. This is not a punch it up the gut with the running back. This is a clear passing situation.
Malachuk getting pressured by Ostendorf. He evades him, though. Throws it off his back foot again. This one is way downfield. Going up and getting it is a great catch by Jaden Foskey. Another huge passing play, but another flag thrown in the backfield. And when you see that flag in the backfield, that usually means one thing, a holding penalty, which would push them back 10 yards from the spot of the foul, causing them to be at their own 20 instead of the Duke's 20.
Yeah, Ostendorf was almost there, and there's just a little bit of a tug on the arm that really, I truly think he would have had a sack there had the Roadrunners tackle not grabbed his arm. But again, it's being forced to take deep shots early and penalties. Malachuk has had some really nice thrown deep balls that have just been called back by penalties, and when that happens, you get called back, and then you lose some yards too, and it's just almost impossible to make a good forward progression.
And the biggest penalty was definitely that rushing touchdown by Malachuk that would have cut into this lead before halftime. Malachuk low snap. He has to evade some tacklers, but Joe Reef is in there for another sack. Joe Reef An absolute monster of a man.
36, Evan.
Malachek had nowhere to go, and once Joe Reef is near you, he's not letting you go. 4th down and 15 now. Nazareth going to have to punt once again.
Yeah, and one thing that just makes this him so difficult to guard if you're an offensive lineman is, first off, he's massive, 6'3", 230, just 6'5", 230, just a ton of muscle. But he's also extremely athletic and elusive. At the end, he can get around these big offensive linemen very quickly, and that allows for lots of sacks and tackles for losses and forced fumbles.
Fowler punts it. Troutman almost getting there again. Danko not able to get to it, and he has to let it roll, and a friendly roll there for Nazareth as that's putting them inside the 25-yard line. Winton and the Dukes come back out for another offensive possession. They're going to have to travel 76 yards to get into the end zone. No team yet to score here in the second half with 6:22 left to go in the third quarter.
Our winner is the DeSanto family, ticket number 418110. Congratulations. And thank you, Chuck Nolan. Guaranteed rate.
Rushing play there to Melian to start off this drive. He's able to get one.
A lot of traffic around that. Gain of the yards, 2nd and 9 for the Dukes.
You know, as this game gets further and further played through and closer to the end, you start to wonder when one of the starters going to come out, as there hasn't been a score change. We saw Bruno Massa last week. At what point are we going to see him again this week?
There's another flag thrown. They're going to call it a false start on Maylander. They'll push him back 5.
It'll be 2nd and long.
Maylander doesn't agree with the call. And TJ, I was watching Maylander pretty much that entire time. I don't think I saw him move. So I'm not sure if I necessarily think that that's a false start either. But now that makes it 2nd and 14.
Winton taking the snap after the penalty, throwing a deep ball up. He's got a man wide open. Maylander burnt his defender, but out of the reach of his hands was the ball thrown by Sean Winton. Penalty in the backfield. 2 plays in a row. They're going to call a holding penalty. Nazareth deciding whether or not to accept that penalty, as it would be a repeat of down, although 10 yards back.
I think you decline it. I mean, 3rd and 14 is just so difficult, but they end up accepting it. I can see both ways too. I mean, if you force an incompletion on the next play, then I mean it really puts them in a tough spot. Maylander on that last play did a good job getting open, but it was just out of reach, and I think he was looking for a pass interference call. I thought he should have been like a PI call or a flag of some sort in favor of him, but the ref does not agree.
And Winton was pressured again on that play. He's been flustered a lot tonight. Done a great job up to this point. They're going to hand this ball off to Melly, and Melly going to be grabbed and thrown to the ground. That's going to be a loss of 5 on that 2nd down play. We'll see if the Dukes look to pick this one up on a deep ball or just look to get some quick, easy yards to get them a little bit further out of their own 10-yard line. 4:50 left to go in this third quarter.
Thinking rushing play or like quick little slant or screen pass. I don't think you can go for the deep ball here. I mean, if there's nothing there and you get hit, that's pretty much that's going to be a safety, TJ, and like, no reason to give them extra points when you're up by so much.
They will pass. Winton has to get rid of it quickly. Maylander in double coverage. Danko wide open. But this offensive line is really
Brings up a fourth
been
down.
falling apart on the passing plays. They've done a great job in the run game, but Wint has been pressured probably around 30% of his passing attempts tonight, and 30% may not seem like a lot, but on how many times he's dropped back to pass, 30% is definitely a lot of his attempts.
Yeah, TJ, and that just, I don't know if it's the offensive line or the defensive adjustments, probably a little bit of both. I mean, they ran the ball a lot in the first quarter. This O-line may start to be getting tired.
As Kennedy barely gets that one away. Gonna bounce at the 30, not gonna get a good roll this time. He's gonna roll back inside the 25 to the 22. If Nazareth wants to come back in this game, this is a perfect opportunity for them, starting basically in the red zone. 4-18, definitely not out of the realm of possibility of a Nazareth comeback.
I mean, yeah, you've seen him do it before. Jonathan Salza tried getting a hand on that and stopping it more by the 30, but it just rolled another 6 yards on him. So pretty unfortunate. And then for the defense here, they're going to need a big stop. They've done this throughout the entire game, but let's see if Nazareth's offense can finally get over the hump and score a touchdown.
Malachek looking to pass it. He connects with his man. Staying up right there is Penley, and Penley gets into the end zone, and one play after the bad punt from inside the goal line, and Nazareth goes right back on the scoreboard, bringing this within 2 possessions with a whole fourth quarter left to play and 4 minutes left of the third. The kicker, Drew Fowler, out to secure that 14-point deficit. And it was just a great back shoulder throw by Malachuk there. Placed it perfectly for his receiver, and he did the rest. Blocked extra point, though, by Jimmy Connors. He's been all over the field today on both sides of the ball, and now on special teams. It will still be a 2-possession game, but now Nazareth will need to complete a 2-point conversion if they want to tie up the ball game. And Connor, I don't know how many times we can bring this up in one night, but special teams, right? I mean, that's normally where games are won and lost, and it's not really talked about as much, but when you have a good special teams team, if both teams have good offense and both teams have good defense, that game's always going to be decided by how good the special teams is playing. And we've really seen that be a factor here with this 15-point lead for the Dukes.
Yeah, TJ, well, I think like if your special teams unit has a good game as a whole, you're like, oh yeah, they played well. You don't really look into it too much, but when they're just playing absolutely exceptionally and outstanding, like this Duke special teams unit has, you really start to take notice, because I truly think that this has had a huge impact in the game. That and the defense. I mean, the offense has been relatively productive, but not at the scale we saw last week. And it was the defense that was just giving them this, and special teams that gave them this great field position. And the offense really didn't have to do too much to get in the end zone, and that's why the score is what it is. It's a full team effort for the battle of starting field position.
With that kick block, there's a punt block, a kick block, and a recovered, what would you call it, an onside kick. Danko returning this one. He's up into midfield, cuts it back, trying to find something to happen. He gets up to the 33-yard line. A good return there from Chris. Talked a little bit about him last week on the return.
First down, Dukes.
Those plays flashy. He's just out there to get as many yards as he can, get his team in the best field position, because those 2, 3, 4 extra offense and help you down the line later on in the drive.
Yeah, I think as a kick returner, Danko is very consistent. He knows what he's going to do, but he can improvise. He can break off tackles, but if he doesn't think he's gonna get any extra yards, he's not going to risk it for the fear of losing yards as a returner, and I think that's what makes him such a good returner.
And off to Melian. Melian splits the gap. He's up to the safeties. Both safeties tackle him down. Great burst of speed there from Melian. And Melian with a 20-yard rush up to the 40-yard line. The Dukes are now in the hurry up.
Stopped by Edward McQuade Jr. First and 10 for the Dukes at the
3:48. Dukes trying to, after the big play, trying to hurry it up and catch this Naz defense off balance.
Winton going to hand it off once again. This time Nazareth ready though. After the big explosive play, Melian goes nowhere. Tackled by Brendan Flanagan. And if you didn't know, Brendan Flanagan is the cousin of Alex Stone, former York Duke alumni.
I did not know that. TJ, you learn something new every day, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Just little fun facts.
Little fun fact as well, he's a good friend of Gavin Connolly, the York Sports Network announcer from last year. Never can have too many fun facts in one game, Connor.
Yeah. Well, Gavin, if you're watching in your dorm at Purdue, hey, how's it going? Another fun fact about Nazareth Academy, and it's the school of former high school of J.J. McCarthy, and then he eventually transferred to IMG Academy, and now he's at the University of Michigan. Plays East Carolina University tomorrow at 11 a.m.
And York takes their first timeout here in the second half with 2:58 left on the clock in the third. York leads 28-13, and with this timeout, we're going to take a short break. You've been watching York Dukes Varsity Football on York Sports Network.
Duke fans, if you miss out on your chance to get Spirit Wear in the Spirit Set, don't forget you can purchase your Spirit Wear at Elmhurst Photo Boutique.
Pass there from Sean Winton, gets a quick out to Chris Danko out at the 45-yard line. 6 yards after the catch for Danko. Winton right on the money on that out route. He picks up the first down, keeps the chains moving. Great quick play out of the timeout there for the Dukes. Winton takes another snap. He's going to hand this one off to Melian again. Melian stuffed for a second rushing attempt in a row. Looks like there's another Roadrunner down on the field. We're sorry, that's a York Duke offensive lineman, it looks like. With this injury timeout, we're going to step away here. You've been watching York Sports Network. Joe Reef, the injured Duke player, he's able to walk off the field. That's always a good sign. Winton, though, after that injury timeout, screen pass to Melian, completely fooled Nazareth. But they were able to get one guy out there who sniffed it out, that being Roy Tittle. Tittle's been called a couple times on the offensive side at the running back position. First time calling his name defensively. That was a well-designed play, but when one person realizes it kind of gets blown up, but they fooled probably, the entire defensive line right there.
Yeah, they just had that one linebacker right there, shading just in front of, or just behind Melian.
If Melian breaks away from that one, he's probably gone as everyone else is on the other side of the field, but nonetheless it's now a 3rd down and long. Winton dropping back to pass, pressured again, he gets hit. Great throw down the sideline. A yard out in front. Maylander looking for a pass interference call right there.
Yeah, and Luke's getting really frustrated. I think he feels like Gary Reese is just getting away with a lot of contact here that he thinks wouldn't fly in any other game, and he hasn't really had that big reception that we're used to seeing, and Reese, for the most part, has done a great job, and Maylander, he's just feeling like a little bit more contact being allowed right now, and it's just starting to bug him, I think.
It looks like Coach Fitz has decided to keep the offense out there on this 4th down and long.
You know, why not? 2 minutes and 25 seconds on 15, maybe trying to get the penalty.
Winton steps up in the pocket. He tries to run. He stays on his feet. He gets the 1st down. What a play by Sean Winton, evading 3 tackles, stumbling on his own, picking himself up on his own, and scrambling for another 10 yards, and a 1st down for the Dukes, putting them right inside the 20-yard line in the red zone. And I don't think that's what Coach Fitz drew up, but it doesn't matter because that's a York Dukes 1st down.
No, it looked like he was it drew up like a nice little pass with all the receivers getting involved at some point, but Winton didn't have time to go through his reads, and he just took off and able to stay on his feet.
Another handoff to Melian. Melian up to the 18-yard line before being brought down.
He was tackled by number 60, Nolan Daly.
And I know that was just a great play by Sean Winton on that last play, but at some point, you got to be feeling his frustration out there with how this offensive line has played in the second half. They've been giving him no time to throw. We saw in that deep ball to Maylander that he barely just missed. He got absolutely clobbered. Hard to make those tough, deep passes when you're getting draped by 3 or 4 different guys in the backfield.
I don't know if that's necessarily all on the O-line. This defensive line looks much improved from the first half. They look like a completely different unit, and I wouldn't completely pin this on the offensive line. Obviously, when the quarterback gets pressured, it's easy to blame them, but I wouldn't say this is entirely their fault.
And Winton finds Danko right around the numbers at the 10-yard line. He tries to turn it back inside. Met right there by number 11, James Penley, the wide receiver and defensive back. The Dukes able to pick up a nice chunk of yardage right there, bringing up a 3rd down and inches to go.
Yeah, and Danko, like we've been talking pretty much, I feel like, especially with Maylander not really getting open, Danko's become the new favorite target.
And this is just going to be a QB run with Winton. Winton making great use of his legs here tonight. He's able to get them into the 1st down and to the 6-yard line, making it a little bit closer here as we enter the 3rd quarter. So they're going to have to flip the field, but we're going to be inside the 10, which I like to call the green zone. Once you get inside there, it's normally automatic, unless you're facing the Dukes defense. And with the end of this 3rd period, we're going to take a break here. You've been watching York Dukes varsity football on York Sports Network.
And that ends the 3rd quarter. York Dukes in the lead. But the Roadrunners are still going strong.
Winton now to start the fourth quarter from the 6. He's going to hand this one off to the tailback.
Number 30, Jake
Not going anywhere is Melian.
Led by number 21, Les Roy. Second down to the Dukes.
The Nazareth defensive line has looked a lot better at stopping the run as Melian had a very explosive first half. Melian coming off to the sideline after that last play. Jimmy Connors to replace him in the backfield.
Looks like Melian's cramped up on the sideline. This happened last week at Glenview. His workload may just be turning into just a bit too much for him. And for Winton, he's got 42 rushing yards, so he's also helping carrying the rushing attack.
As Winton finds a wide open receiver in Luke Maylade on a great whip route right there. 5 yards of separation and wide open. Maylander with a touchdown grab right there, extending this lead. And if Damian Glotz knocks down this extra point, they will tie their point total from last week from the Glenbrook South game.
Yeah, TJ, that's just got to feel so good. You know, Maylander really struggling to get the big play or the red zone target, but he gets one there. He hauls it in for the touchdown, and Sean Winton having another nice game.
And point after is good. Number 29,
Mr. Automatic, Damian Glotz knocking through his 5th extra point of the night.
And our holder was number 18, Nico.
TJ, you think you could kick a field goal from 20 yards out?
That's what the 10, correct? You're saying if I'm kicking it from the 10-yard line,
Yeah, the 10.
I think it'd be close. Not known much as a kicker myself. More of a thrower as I am a baseball player, but maybe if I get like 5 attempts, I can knock down one of them.
All right, how many attempts would you need to complete a pass against the Dukes defense?
Depends how much time I get in the pocket and who my receivers are. If I got a guy like Maylander out there, I think depending on, you know, he could call it screen pass and I can get one out there to him.
First try?
I think so.
Very confident, TJ. Well, you'll love to see it.
And that's the same kicking unit as we saw last year, but with Wicklow as the snapper, Ruggieri as the holder, and Glotz as the kicker. And Glotz boots us one inside the 5-yard line. Returned by Shiramonte once again. Shiramonte gets out to the 24-yard line. He's been quite consistent today, getting Nazareth some decent field position and anywhere between the 20 and 30-yard line.
On the return, he was controlled in the open field by the 36. Evan gone.
Been gone with the tackle there. His name was called quite a bit last week. Not as big of a game for him, but he's still making his impact.
Yard line for the Roadrunners.
He was the best linebacker on the Dukes last season at the sophomore level. He got the most playing time there. Jimmy Connors had a case, but he saw most of his time at running back and didn't really get to play a lot of linebacker.
Snap and pass just behind his receiver, the intended target, Trenton Walker.
Number 9.
Malachuk just missed his guy right there. That probably could have been a gain of 5 or 6. And that's been the story of the game today, is just missed opportunities. Nazareth has definitely had their opportunities. Either a little bit of a miscommunication causing the error, or a flag. The flags have really been a big problem for them, taking back a touchdown from them earlier in this game.
Yeah, TJ. Bruno Massel, the 4th, warming up on the sidelines.
Malachuk gets out of the pocket, goes deep to Reese, and Garrett Reese makes an exceptional grab there over on the left sideline over Charlie Georges.
Number 2.
He was draped over in a double coverage, but he's able to bring it in on the back shoulder by the 45-yard line.
Yeah, Reese is extremely athletic, not super big, only stands at 6'1", but he makes an excellent grab there.
And they go right back to Reese, and after that amazing catch, he catches the easier one of the two.
Reese's older brother, Max, plays tight end at Eastern Michigan. It's a red shirt last year. He was on a state championship winning team at Fenwick a few years ago.
Malachuk gets this one out quick to Penley. Penley moving up to the second level, brought down by Cole Ossendorf at the 40, or at the 37.
Ossendorf just such a hard hitter. Every tackle he makes, it's just such a hard hitter at linebacker when he runs in and chases down receivers, running backs, whoever. It's always a force to be reckoned with.
Handoff here by to McLean. McLean trapped right where he started that run by Ossendorf and Jack Troutman. Bring up a 4th down and 4. Nazareth should be staying on the field for this one, down 3 possessions in the 4th. It really feels like if they don't pick this one up, it will be game over.
And you've already got the backup quarterback Bruno warming up on the sidelines. So the second offensive unit's planning to get in, but this is a big 4th down here. Roadrunners need to convert.
Malachuk receives a low snap. He gets out a deep pass, back shoulder. He's gonna drop it though, right through the hands of Seastone. He definitely had that ball. George just didn't turn around quick enough to make a play on it, but Seastone just dropped it. And another great pass from Malachuk. He's really looked good on those back shoulder deep balls, putting him in great spots all night. His receivers just have not been doing him any favors.
Yeah, I mean, he totally had the coverage read there, and I thought that was going to be a first down and set them up nice positioning in the red zone, but unfortunately he just couldn't hang on to it. And I feel like that's been the story of the offense today, just getting so close and then not being able to haul it in or finish the job. And that's kind of the reason that it's been as rough as it has been. First team offense is still on the field.
Winton's still going to be out there at quarterback, at least for now. He hands it off to Melian. Melian exploding through the defensive line to gain a 9 there. Second down and 1 with the clock continuously ticking right now. Getting closer and closer to the inevitable with 8:55 left to go in the 4th. Winton signaling for motion from Vinton Helm. Melling going to get the handoff once again up to the Nazareth side of the field around the 46.
Tackled by number 3, Jaden Fosu, and number 9, Brendan Sanger. First down for the district.
Winton fakes the handoff. He's keeping it himself, and he's up to the 30-yard line. Great run there from Winton on the 15-yard gain. Winton now surpasses the 50-yard mark here tonight. He has really relied more on the legs tonight than he did last week. And a lot more designed runs, I would say, as well, from Coach Fitz.
Yeah, I mean, this going into this game, this Naz defense was thought to be good in pass coverage, and Winton being more of a pocket passer, I'm sure that Coach Fitch was thinking they're going to have to mix in some runs if you want to keep up with them. And that's what they've done, and Winton's having himself another nice game.
Melian swallowed up there at
Met rather quickly by number 18, Pinkney. Gain of a yard, second down to the Dukes.
Mellion does an excellent job accelerating on the left side and then gets into the end zone and completely blows this game wide open. Fans starting to exit the stands. And TJ, I don't think anyone was expecting this outcome.
Number 29, Damian Glotz with the point.
Glotz hits the extra point. That makes it a 42-13 game, TJ. And it's just such a lopsided score. I don't think you were expecting that going in, and the majority of people around the western suburbs didn't expect that either.
Let's hear some cheers for our cheer and pop and see they're doing.
Melly on the ground tonight has 184 rushing yards. Second week in a row, surpassing the 160 mark.
Been so effective on the ground, and TJ, I don't think anyone thought the score was going to be the way it is. Completely lopsided in favor of the Dukes. Many people, when the schedule first came out,
booted away deep inside the 5 once again by Glotz. And the Duke special teams once again stops the returner from getting past the 25. Jaden Foskey on the return right there.
First and 10 for the Roadrunners at the 23-yard line.
fresh faces getting into the game on defense. Jonathan Salza, Aiden Link, Nick Delaney's some of the new Duke personnel in that defense.
Chuck puts Reese in motion and gives him the ball on the jet sweep. Maybe getting a yard on that play. The Dukes saw that coming. As we see some more new faces joining the Dukes defense here, including Max Sennett and Seamus Wicklow, as well as the tight end Finton Helm out at defensive end right now.
And Coach Fitch just mixing it up.
Melichuk hands it off once again, this time to McLean. McLean gets a solid 2 yards right there. Moves up to a third down and 7.
Made by number 36, Evan Gong.
Clock continuing to wind down. We're approaching the 5-minute mark in the fourth quarter.
It's third down to
29 points.
Let's get loud.
I assumed Nazareth would be passing the ball a little bit more on this drive, especially with how the score is looking. come out with 2 running plays, and now Malachek is faced with another 3rd down and 5. He's got his receiver deep over the middle. That one broken up by Aiden Link and Charles Freed.
And Freed tipped that up, and Link nearly got a reception, but the receiver ran into him and kind of knocked him out of the way. And nearly a pick for Link, who had plenty of those last year at safety.
See here if Naz goes for it, or if they're just going to punt it away and accept their fate. With 5:04 left in the 4th. If they are to punt, Birnbaum is back at the 30-yard line ready to receive it. And it appears they will be kicking it. Fowler takes it, punts this one away. Birnbaum's going to let it roll. That one going to stop right on the 35-yard line. And Bruno Massel will now come into the game, his 2nd appearance this season. And he's going to try and lead this Dukes offense right here with 4:53 left on the clock.
Yeah, it was a rough outcome for the Roadrunners. Now they're going to be most likely going to be 0-2 going into conference play. And they did, like we previously said, they played one of the most competitive conferences in the state. They're back in Elmhurst next week, playing
Bruno Massel.
20 how many? And 182.
And that's
1 yard line.
With the quarterback keeper. Game's about 5 yards. It's second
If you were to give a player of the game on this offense tonight, I think you'd have to give it to Jake Mellion. He's got over 20 carries and 184 rushing yards with 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, definitely. And he fumbled the ball twice last week, and he's showing everyone that that's just a fluke and taking excellent care of the football with a higher volume of rushes this week than last week. Just that trust in Mellion still there.
Massel takes the snap, hands that ball off. Going absolutely nowhere there was Adam Fennell.
Running for the Dukes, number 23, Adam Fennell.
Bruno got in the game last week. 2 carries for 7 yards. Did not attempt to pass. We'll see if that changes here. Bruno more of a Matt Vezza type of dual threat quarterback that used a lot in the run game on the sophomore team last year.
Massel going to take that QB rush here, and he's going to get out to the 50-yard line and pick up another Dukes first down. That's another thing the Dukes have done great tonight is convert 42 points to 2 punts is a great ratio.
Kennedy. BK had a very quiet night, and a flag calls it back.
Going to be a holding penalty, making this a much harder first down to pick up.
Bruno's big rush called back.
Could see Massel's first passing attempt for the year right here on a 3rd down and long.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Coach Fitz thinks very highly of him. He said he gave Sean a run for his money in the summer, so it'll be exciting to see what he does here.
And instead of passing, he's just going to tuck it and run it, pick up maybe a yard. Now the punting unit comes out, and Brennan Kennedy's looking to pin the Roadrunners as far back as possible here as the clock is continuously running with 3:12 left to go.
And I think Coach Fitz just called a run there. Keep the clock moving. If Bruno's pass was incomplete, it would stop the clock because unfortunately they're only up by 29 points, and the clock only becomes a running clock if you're up by 30 or more in the second half. So missing it by 1 point, just a minor inconvenience when you're just trying to hurry this game up and get home.
Snaps away, it's very low, bobbled, but Kennedy's able to pick it up. He kicks it away, but it's a 1-yard punt at the end of the day, as you can't do much there as a punter when you have to. Just a bad snap right there from Wicklow. Looked great otherwise tonight, though.
Sheamus usually so consistent, and just one little slip up. Luckily, if it's not a good catch, though. Kennedy with just a booming 3-yard punt there. Very, very rare. We don't normally see that.
We're going to take a short break here with 2:23 left to go in this fourth quarter. Dukes lead 42-13. You've been watching North North Network. Hand off here to the backup running back, number 23, Daniel DeAndrea. The quarterback now
Tackled by number
is Mick
36,
Bizek.
Evan God.
TJ, great team win. Who was your Duke of the game? I'll tell you mine. I think it's gotta be Joe Reif, the forced fumble and sack and a couple of other meaningful tackles. Him or Jack Troutman. They've both been excellent tonight on the line, and that shows why they anchor this excellent defensive line.
Now, I wouldn't really like to pick one individual in general, but just really the entire defensive line and linebacking core has looked great through the first 2 weeks. As we see another stuff there in the backfield. Ball came out, but Nazareth jumps on it.
Number 47.
Can't forget Chris Danko. It's 2 more receiving touchdowns. I mean, he continues his extremely hot start, cementing himself as the lead red zone receiver. Maylander, the number 1 receiver everywhere else, but I think once you get inside the 30-yard line, you cannot sleep on Chris Danko, and I think that's the mistake these teams are making early in the year. You're so focused on Maylander and Melian that Danko just kind of becomes an afterthought, and that's extremely dangerous. That can lead to some easy touchdowns like we saw Danko have 2 of them today, and pretty much in every touchdown he's just breaking away from the defender that's assigned to him. Just does such a good job of creating space and getting open in the end zone.
Another handoff here. Going to be another flag thrown with 30 seconds left on the clock. Back to what you were saying, Connor, a little bit more on the offense. I mean, it's always a good sign when you got 6 touchdowns, but when you have 3 separate guys scoring 2 touchdowns apiece, you know you got something special on that offense. Because like you were saying, the defenses forget about Danko, and then once they realize that they have to guard him too, that opens the door for Maylander in the receiving game. And Melian's just been an absolute tank in the running game. No one's really been able to stop him.
Just looking, declining the penalty. 16 seconds left. They're probably just going to run the clock out, TJ. And what a statement win for the Dukes. Going 2-0 as they travel to Downers Grove South next week to play
And with that,
DGS. And this is the second biggest game of the year. One of the toughest opponents they're going to see all year. The former 5A state champions fall to 0-2 after a close game at Kankakee. and a blowout at Elmhurst. The Dukes move to 2-0 as they're going to go into their final conference game. The number 5 team in the state continuing excellence, DJ.
And there's not much of a better start you can have to a season opening up 2-0, win on the road, and then a win at home. That's going to do it up for us here in Elmhurst. I'm Tina Silkaitis. Alongside me tonight has been Connor Choi. And a special shout out to the rest of the YSN gang here